A unique stove door in the shape of a star has been found by the Oak Island crew deep beneath rocks. They believe that this door holds the key to a location that no one has ever had the courage to dig and uncover. Despite this, they continue their quest for clues. And Gary Drayton, an expert in metal detectors, discovered a crusty metal clump that might be anything. Following that, the team conducts drilling at a new location known as HN 15.5, which they believe may be a concealed chamber some 27 feet below the surface. After discovering nothing, they decide to concentrate their efforts on the Chappelle and Hedden shafts. When Fiona Steele is in Lot 5, she asks Ethan Green and Peter Fornetti to move a boulder that has charcoal, brick pieces, and mysterious bones buried beneath it. Brickmaking, tanning, and mining are all possible explanations, but a television audience that is anticipating knights and buried Spanish treasure is not going to be convinced by this. Laird Niven and Emma Culligan take on the metal blob that was discovered, which eventually disintegrates to reveal a stove door that dates back to the middle of the 1800s. The major and significant find is a component of an oven, which most likely came from one of the numerous teams that investigated Oak Island over the course of its history. Having returned to Smith's Cove, the team is continuing its hunt for any indications of the work done by the Restall family. They discover further boards, nails that are more recent, a random bolt, and a broken spike, all of which do not exactly scream out treasure that dates back hundreds of years. When they have a camera crew behind them, however, it is much simpler to believe what they say. In conclusion, the Oak Island crew discovers a clue that links them to a secret location. Yet, they continue their quest for clues and discover other clues. The efforts of the team to unearth the truth about the location are supported by their camera crew, which makes the inquiry more interesting and engaging for the audience of the investigation. Within the context of the narrative of Smith's Cove, a group of scientists and engineers are conducting an excavation in an area that has a history of both secret societies and pirates in order to find high readings of valuable metals. Emma Culligan is in charge of the team, and she is provided with a variety of scrap metal, such as hinges, stove parts, and nails, which conveys a different story than the team intends to impress upon them. The team is left wondering why all of the tools from the industrial age keep appearing, as well as why a stove door receives more screen time than the assumption that this was just a working island. With the expectation of catching one last shiny distraction, they continue fishing in a pond that has been dry for a very long time. On the other hand, they find a large iron chunk buried deep beneath the rocks, and they believe that it is worth more than the amount of gold that they weigh. In the process of extracting the chunk, they discover that it is damp, dirty, and heavy, and they have no idea what they are in possession of. The object in question is little more than a lump of ancient metal that appears to have been gnawed on and spit forth by the gods of the sea. Nevertheless, they bring it back to the laboratory where Emma works her magic, only to discover that the door of the stove is made of cast iron and features a starburst design on it. Due to the fact that this button's design is identical to the one they discovered on Lot 5, it is possible that someone had a plan. A significant amount of "someone was here doing something they weren't sup" energy is generated by the entire event, which in turn provides individuals with a sense of purpose and purpose. It is possible that there is a complete system or network concealed beneath those rocks, something that is large enough to require components such as these and symbols to indicate the path. If these artifacts do, then it is possible that they are a match. And now the question is not about the wealth, rather it is about the people who were sneaking around Smith's Cove hundreds of years ago and what they were constructing or hide. It is possible that the team is finally beginning to peel back the first true layer of reality, and Emma's acute eyes and calm hands are making this possible. A stroll along the lake in the morning on Oak Island has been transformed into a full-fledged historical mystery as a result of the discovery of an iron door. A number of artifacts, such as lead crosses, metal spikes from ships, and pieces of lumber, have been found at this location for many years. The door to the stove, which was discovered, doesn't feel like a beach at all. Rather, it feels more like someone's secret garage where they are keeping secrets from generations ago. Getting closer to laying out whatever system someone left behind, which may include codes, routes, or storage for potentially harmful information, the crew is making progress. As Emma and her team continue to design fresh scans, conduct tests, and search for evidence of whatever might have been attached to the iron, they are not yet finished with their ongoing investigation. In the hopes of locating the remaining portion of the structure in a timely manner, They are pursuing the shoreline. The crew is currently concentrating their efforts on the shoreline because if this thing was buried deep and still had features that were similar to those found in other regions of the island, then there might be other pieces of a puzzle on the island's history that no one was aware existed. Some people are muttering about a building, which is something that is enormous, buried, and perhaps man-made. This structure might be anything from support beams to door frames or even a floor. There is a shift occurring in the energy on the island, as each beep of the detector is now seen as being personal and heads are turning. In the lengthy and perplexing story of Oak Island, Emma is the one who is leading the fight, and the door does not feel like insignificant at all. There is a look on Emma's face that suggests she is already 5 steps ahead of the game when she comes in with data and scans. The debris contained a few surprises that were concealed within it. These were metal fragments that had fused directly into the stone-like crusts, and nobody really gave them any thought. Iron castings, the kind that screamed the middle of the 19th century, were what they were dealing with, it had turned out. There was still something, even though it wasn't the old piratey things that some on the team had hoped for. Mainly due to the fact that this indicated that there were people down there longer than anyone ever anticipated, either attempting to conceal anything or to fortify it. It is manganese that is the real kicker. The levels that they discovered brought the date closer to the 1800s, which indicates that someone brought a real stove, or at least pieces of a stove, into this godforsaken location, left it behind, and then vanished as if it had never occurred. That is done by who? That are the people that bring heavy iron to a pit that is packed with traps and bounces? Gary, a member of the metal detecting team, is currently working on a project on Oak Island, where they are engaged in the search for a treasure that has been concealed. They come across a bolt, a contemporary nail, and a wooden shape, all of which give them reason to believe that they may have located the Restall family, who were influential in the region during the 1960s. The group is currently dealing with spectral instruments that were used by treasure hunters in the past, and every piece of steel that they unearth whispers, "You're making progress. Stay the course." Attempts are being made by the crew to locate wooden forms, bolts, and fasteners, as well as anything else that could potentially give shape to what is located below. Despite the fact that the crew is playing with them with scraps and echoes, Emma's scans and manganese data are helping to change the attitude. They are now in possession of a date, a purpose, a timeline, and possibly a way forward. Despite the fact that Smith's Cove is not yet finished playing games, the team continues to go around and around the maps, notes, and fragments that they can still retain in their gloved hands. They disagree about the quality of the wood samples, the angles of erosion, and the layering that is inconsistent. Some people think it looks like an ancient barn door, while others think it is similar to boards that were salvaged from a shipwreck that occurred in the 19th century. The data that Emma has collected reveals density patterns in the concretions, which tell stories that appear to have been hurried or deliberate. In the morning of the following day, the digging process begins once more, but this time with larger machines and more tempered workers. The mud fights back as if it is aware that it is beginning to lose the prize. With each scoop, just enough is pulled up to maintain the possibility of winning without revealing the prize. In spite of the fact that they are made, the bolts that they are discovering have pits. They begin to recognize a pattern, which consists of bolts arranged in clusters and nails arranged in rows. Before it was consumed by the soil, someone constructed a supporting structure, or a casing. Following the process of drawing lines in the mud and marking out the perimeter, the chaos appears to be a blueprint. As they delve further, it becomes increasingly apparent that whatever took place here, whomever was responsible for it, was attempting to construct something inside the context of something else. The more they go into the matter, the more it becomes apparent that this was not a coincidence. When all is said and done, the true treasure that lies on Oak Island is not gold, but rather the truth that they have been neglecting the entire time. Send us your feedback in the comments section, and don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more content.